What's up, Raider Nation? Victor here. And I'm telling you right now, today's news might be some of the craziest we've seen in years for the Las Vegas Raiders. Because behind the scenes, the league is buzzing about two moves that could completely flip this franchise upside down. First, there's a shocking trade scenario heating up with the Seattle Seahawks. And Raider Nation, this isn't just any player. We're talking about the soul of our defense, the guy who plays every snap like it's his last, the nightmare for quarterbacks, the emotional leader of the locker room, a relentless pass-rushing monster with nearly 70 career sacks and one of the highest motors in the entire NFL. And now, insiders are saying Seattle is willing to offer multiple first-round picks plus a young defensive starter, all to steal away the heart of the silver and black. Franchise-altering type of move. But just when you think it can't get crazier, there's a bombshell on the other side of the ball. Because after being released by the Miami Dolphins, one of the most terrifying offensive weapons of the past decade is now being linked to Las Vegas. I'm talking about the fastest man on any field he steps on, a human highlight reel, a defender's worst nightmare in open space, a superstar wide receiver who changes coverages just by lining up, the kind of player who turns short passes into 70-yard touchdowns. And Raider Nation, the Raiders actually have the cap space to make it happen. With a new era forming and the front office clearly trying to accelerate this rebuild, the plan is simple. Surround the future quarterback with explosive weapons and flip the switch fast. Picture this offense. A rookie QB with huge upside, Brock Bowers dominating the middle A, dynamic young run game, and the most dangerous speed threat in football stretching defenses to their limit. That's not rebuilding. That's loading up for war. So now the big question, Raider Nation. Do you trade away the face of your defense for draft capital and a new future? Or do you bring in one of the most feared offensive superstars the league has seen in years and go all in right now? Because either way, the Raiders are about to shake the NFL. Before I reveal who these mystery superstars really are, and break down the risks, the upside, and whether these moves could turn Vegas into contenders, smash that like button if you ride for the silver and black and subscribe to Raiders Nation Update. Let's hit that 2,000 subscriber goal together. All right, Nation. Let's uncover who's really involved in this blockbuster drama. First, we've got another massive trade rumor involving the heart and soul of our defense. Because Raider Nation, now the Seattle Seahawks are being linked to a huge trade package for Maxx Crosby. And some people around the league are calling it a no-brainer deal. Let's talk about it. Why Seattle is pushing hard for Crosby. Right now, the Seahawks are one of the hottest teams in football. They've got a dangerous offense locked up for years, a young rising defense led by Devin Witherspoon and Nick Emenwari, over $73 million in cap space. That's top 6 in the entire NFL. And when you've got money, momentum, and a Super Bowl window, you go hunting for elite stars. Which brings us right back to Maxx Crosby. The trade package Seattle is reportedly ready to offer. According to NFL insider Jay Glazer, it would take more than what teams have paid for elite pass rushers recently. So the Seahawks' rumored offer looks like this: 2026, first-round pick, 2027, first-round pick plus young edge rusher Derek Hall, 2 firsts. And a developing defender. That's a massive haul, and it's even bigger than what the Green Bay Packers gave up to land Micah Parsons. Why Seattle is willing to go all in? Let's talk production. As a team, the Seahawks recorded 47 sacks last season. Sounds solid, but here's the crazy part. Not a single player hit double-digit sacks. Now, compare that to Crosby. In just 15 games, Max posted 10 sacks, 20 quarterback hits among league leaders in pressures again. Every offensive coordinator game plans around him. He's not just a pass rusher, he's a game breaker. Now, Raider Nation, this is where it gets tough. 2 first-round picks plus a young defender with upside, that's serious value. That's the kind of offer front offices have to sit down and really think about. But here's the truth. Maxx Crosby is not just a player. He's the identity of this defense. He's the leader. He's the motor. He's the culture. Guys like him don't come around often. You can draft for 10 years and never find another Max. Rebuild versus building around a superstar. If the Raiders take this deal, it screams full rebuild, long-term reset. Stockpile picks and start over. But if you keep Crosby, it says, we're building something fast. We're keeping elite talent. We're not tearing it down. And personally, I lean toward keeping generational players. Draft picks are hope. Maxx Crosby has proven dominance. Would he make Seattle scary? Absolutely. Crosby on that Seahawks defense? Instant Super Bowl threat. He would turn a good pass rush into a terrifying one overnight. That's why half the league wants him. But that doesn't mean the Raiders should give him up. This is one of the biggest offers we've heard yet. 2 firsts plus a young defender is real value. But elite pass rushers in their prime are priceless. If the Raiders move Maxx Crosby, it better be for a franchise-changing haul. And even then, it still hurts. And drop your take in the comments. Would you accept 2 first-round picks for Crosby? Or is he completely untouchable? And today we've got a wild prediction shaking up the NFL. One of the most explosive players of the last decade could be heading straight to the Las Vegas Raiders. Before we jump in, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and help us reach 2,000 subscribers right here on Raiders Nation Update. If you live and breathe silver and black, you already know this is the spot. Because Raider Nation, Tyreek Hill has officially been released by the Miami Dolphins, and insiders believe the Raiders are the team most likely to sign him. Let's break this all down. Why Miami moved on from Tyreek Hill? This was a full reset move by the Dolphins. Hill was carrying a $51 million cap hit in 2026, and Miami decided it was time to start a new era. Now yeah, Hill is entering his age 32 season. Yeah, he's coming off a brutal injury. But let's not forget who this man is when healthy. One of the biggest game changers the NFL has ever seen. A guy who can flip a game in one play. His 2025 stats, because of the injury, Hill only played 4 games last season. 21 catches, 265 yards, 1 touchdown, 12. 6 yards per catch. Not huge numbers, but that's strictly because the injury shut him down early. This isn't about what he did last year. This is about what he can still be when healthy. Why the Raiders make perfect sense. Now here's where things get exciting for Raider Nation. The Raiders are entering a brand new era with franchise QB Fernando Mendoza coming in as the projected no. One-pick new head coach Clint Kubiak building the offense from scratch. Tons of cap space, young weapons already in place. We're talking about Brock Bowers, Ashton Jeanty, Trey Tucker. But let's be real, Trey Tucker is not a WR1. This offense still needs a true star presence. And that's where Tyreek Hill becomes interesting. Low risk, massive upside. Because of his age and injury, Hill isn't getting a monster contract. This is likely a cheap, prove-it style deal. Which means very little financial risk, huge reward if he returns healthy. Perfect mentor for young receivers, a safety blanket for a rookie QB. And here's the smart part, the Raiders don't need him immediately. 2026 can be about development. Then, in late 2026 or 2027, a fully healthy Tyreek Hill gives this offense a turbo boost. Look, this isn't the Tyreek Hill of 5 years ago, but even 80% Tyreek Hill is still terrifying for defenses. If he comes back healthy, Mendoza suddenly has a deep threat defensive sphere. Space opens for Bowers underneath, lighter boxes for Jeanty to run, faster rebuild than expected. This is exactly the kind of smart gamble rebuilding teams should make. Not reckless, calculated. This move screams new era, new weapons, smart risks, high upside. If the Raiders pull this off for cheap, it could end up being one of the sneakiest best signings of the offseason. Now Raider Nation, I want your take. Would you sign Tyreek Hill if the price is right? Or is it too risky with the injury and age? If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Subscribe to Raiders Nation Update and help us hit 2,000 subscribers. We're building the real Raider Nation family right here. This is Victor, always repping silver and black. Just win, baby.